Hello everyone. I wanted to take just a few minutes and go over the second part of the week 4 assignment. Actually, to be specific, second part of the second assignment in the week 4, which is the project cost, cash flow report, and earned value analysis. So again, basically this part of the assignment is talking about adding a project buffer and what it is, how to calculate it, things like that. So if we look at the project file, again, this is just a file that I have open. It's not really up to date. The first thing it asks us to do is it wants us to insert the cost field into the project file. So the way to add a cost field, or any field really, is just to go to any empty column and then click on Add New Column, and then start typing the name of the column, which is cost, and then hit Enter. And then this displays the cost for each line for each task. Again, the cost is not correct because this is again a not updated file. So if you look at the previous week 4 video where we updated the cost to be 120,000, that's the file that you should be working with for this part of the assignment as well. So again, I have incorrect numbers just because I'm working with a file that hasn't been updated yet. All right, so this is how you add the cost column. And then it's asking us to create a new task name called project buffer. And typically it says the project buffer is 10%, and it wants us to use the formula that we used for the PERT template. The PERT template basically was the Excel file that we have from week 3. So this is the Excel file. And it's also telling us that we need to balance the project for 6 months duration. So 6 months, basically, it's 180 days. And 10% for our project buffer would be roughly 18 days. And to use the PERT template, again, the Excel file, we have a optimistic duration, most likely duration, and pessimistic duration. So the most likely duration is going to be the 10%. And again, 10% of 180 days, which is 6 months, is going to be 18 days. So I'm going to come to this line, type 18. And for the pessimistic duration, I'm going to make it, let's say, double that amount against pessimistic, so 36 days. And then for the optimistic, I'm going to say, let's make it half that amount, which is 9 days. So I'm basing it on 18 days. Optimistic would be half the amount, pessimistic would be double the amount. And if you remember also from week 3, the formula for it was equal sign. We're going to do optimistic plus pessimistic plus 4 times the most likely. So 4 times most likely, close, and then close again because everything is going to be divided by 6. Okay, so again, this is the formula that we use from week 3 for the PERT weighted average duration. We took the most likely, we took the optimistic plus the pessimistic plus 4 times the most likely, and then divided everything by 6. So this should give us 20 days. All right. So from that, we can go back to our project document, and we add it as a successor to the final task in our project. So come here, and then we type project buffer. For the duration, we said 20 days. And then I'm not going to fill in the dates here, but I'm going to go to the predecessor, and I'm going to say predecessor is the last task. So I'm going to click on that and then escape out of it, and that would automatically fill in the dates for me. And for the final step, which is number 3, it's asking us to look at our cost baseline, see if we have to add any management reserves, and it's also referencing the figure 7.5 in the chapter 7 in our textbook. So here's the, there we go, here's the figure 7-5. So basically what this picture is telling us is that how the budget is made up. You know, the project budget is broken down into different components. And we start from the right and then we move to the left. So if we look on the right, we first have just our cost estimates. Again, this is what everyone tells the project manager, hey, this task is going to take me 2 days, this task is going to take me 5 days, and so on and so on. And then we have to add a contingency reserve. If you remember from your reading, contingency reserves is basically the known unknowns. Okay, so sometimes when you plan for a project, you have an idea of what could be unknown, the time of something or a surprise down the road, but you kind of know that it might happen. So that's what a contingency reserve is, and you should add that to your estimated activity cost. This is what's going to give us what is called the work package cost estimates. Now we're not done there yet. We can also add more contingency reserve, and with that, again, more risks and more unknowns, and that these two together will give us what is known as the cost baseline. I'm going to skip control accounts, but this is what's called cost baseline, which is contingency reserve plus work package estimates, and the work package estimates is the activity contingency reserve plus the estimated activity costs. So all these things add up to what is called the cost baseline. We're not done there yet. We don't have the project budget yet. We have to add something else called the management reserve. And the management reserve is the unknown unknowns. So again, these are things that just completely come out of the blue, and we also have to factor for that. So for number 3, that's what it really is talking about. That think about your project, think if there's anything that you haven't added yet that you need to add, and if so, then you need to add that cost to the project buffer. Uh, if you do feel the need to add anything, then you would go back to your project buffer task line and then update this value here based on whatever contingency reserve or management reserve that you want to add. And that's basically it. These are the 3 steps that we wanted to cover for part 2, which is again, insert a cost field, add the project buffer line as a successor to the final task, again using the PERT, and again the most likely is 10%. So I used double for the pessimistic and half for the optimistic. You can use different numbers as you like, of course. And then if you can go back, for example, to your risk management, sorry, not the risk management, but if you can go back to the risk template that we did, I think in week 3, if you have anything that needs to be added on top of the buffer, I mean, sometimes the buffer covers all these contingency reserves and the management reserves. But if you want to add something else, then this is what step number 3 is talking about. And then you just have to go back and add it and update this value here. And that's basically it for part 2 of this assignment. If you have any questions, please do let me know. If you have any struggles or if you have any problems with this assignment, shoot me an email. I'd be more than happy to make more videos or reply to your emails as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you in class. Take care, everyone, and bye for now.